going to say just on that point, Doc, I put out a tweet last night saying that no new manager is going to keep us up, but we have to go down fighting. We have to go down, scoring a couple goals here or there, looking like we want to stay up, even though we know we're not going to. And at the moment, that's not happening. And I don't think it will happen as long as Ruud van Nistelrooy is here. So what do you think, Doc? Because you can't really bring in a permanent manager now, can you? It's not...
Unless you're applying for the championship, right? Then it's a different story of who you can really get. I mean, it's a tricky situation. I think I've always, along with Imran, really been backing Ruud, even when the results got tough, because I had this mindset as soon as he came in instead of Cooper that, I mean, he was going to be here for the end of the season, so he has to make it work. And he's going to have my backing because I know we're not going to be able to sack him. And I think that's one of the key things. Obviously, the financials aren't out yet, haven't been able to look into them. But there is this, thing about FFP. Do we even have the money to sack him? Do we have the money to get someone else in? All of these questions are floating around. So I don't know what can change anymore. He's tried to change the personnel. He's tried to change the system, but we're getting worse. It's not getting any better. And I mean, I think as well, that's what I want to know from you. If you could change one thing that you would believe, maybe outside of hiring Ruud, since you've already said that, that could give us just some slight hope, what would you want to see change for yourself to feel a little bit more optimistic?
Yeah, I honestly think the style of play needs to change. That's the only thing that needs. This passing football is just not working. We just need to get grafters on the pitch, play like Forest, absorb the pressure, and then hit them on the break with Mavadidi, with Facundo Bonate, with Monga if he gets a chance, with a bit of pace. So let's concede possession. We can't keep the ball. We know that. So why not give up possession, absorb the pressure, and then hit them quickly on the attack? We've got Vardy, we've got, like I said, Mavadidi, we've got a bit of pace in Facundo Bonate, and Bilal can play a killer pass and use Bilal as our point to play that ball to the forwards. Like give it to Bilal. And then get the wingers running down those wings. But the problem is, none of our fullbacks or wingers take on a man. That's the other thing. I think we made a point about Grealish, how Pep destroyed him. He used to rip past players, back in his day. But now all he does, cuts inside, plays it in field. And that's the thing we need to get out of the game, is we just have to go for the byline. As they used to say in the olden days, get chalk on your shoes and just get the ball into the middle. And we're just not doing that.
How do you change this situation? Because for me, I'd start planning for the championship now, because that's where we're going to be.
Yeah, we've got no option, Doc, have we? We have to plan for the championship now.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. And I think it's a big thing, we had Imran about the fans before, right? The mood is just so depressing. And I think some of that comes with the fact that we aren't being given this dopamine of hope. The hope might be what kills you, but it's also what keeps you going for the time being, right? I think in the past 5 games, I can remember celebrating once, and that was at the penalty save. That had me celebrating like a goal because, you thought maybe so early in the game, this could be what changed the momentum. And when that then also fell flat, we continued to do nothing. Like, it's just such a deflating energy that it's really hard for the fans. And how do we turn this around? Well, scoring goals, but we can't do that. So I think it is something like, getting some youth on, someone, to do something different or trying something wholly new to see this is better than we had before. Maybe we can cling on to hope here.
Yeah, last question for you, Jack. And I think this is probably the toughest question that you will answer all year. Are you ready? The question is, when will we score another goal?
Jesus Christ, I mean, I've not even think Leicester City can score a goal at all. I think, we come up against Southampton, people would say it's the easiest game, but then they'd probably beat it and break Derby's record, let's be honest.
I actually think if we played Southampton tomorrow, we'd lose. I genuinely believe that.
We would.
I think it might be right. I think, Jack, the right answer to this question is, when does the championship start? That's the date we'll score a goal again, mate.
That probably is the right answer, to be fair. And then to say Rasmus Højlund scored after 21 games, Charity FC struck again yesterday, but you look at the second and the third goal defensively. They're just stood there, aren't they? What are they doing? They're just looking away, and then they start. As soon as the musical statues music comes on, they'll stand still, and as soon as the net ripples and the opposition scored, they'll all of a sudden wake up again. You're thinking, nah, but it ain't fair on the fans, is it? You pay hard working money week in, week out to follow your team and that. And this club's rotten from top to bottom. It's a real mess. The hierarchy needs a massive change. The squad needs a massive change. If you sack Van Nistelrooy, I don't think it's going to change anything, let's be honest. Maybe Ruud would have been better in the Championship for Leicester. But in this type of situation, you know, it's a toxic club. I mean, you're going to look at managers at the minute and think, who's going to want to come in here and manage us? But then David Moyes would probably been the best option for Leicester City. He's been and done it.
Yeah, didn't want to come though. Didn't want to come. I mean,
at this point.
Yeah, I just want to hear one last short thing, right? I've been asking this for the past few callers. If there could be just one thing that you could choose to change now for the rest of the season to give you, you know, a bit of hope for either staying up or just a bit of hope going into the championship season, what would it be? Changing the formation, firing the manager, better communication, more youth on the pitch? What would you want?
Bloody, I don't think changing the team and formation is going to work. They can't play at a 4-back. They can't play at a 5-back. You might as well put the team bus in front of goal. I think that's how we change it. But then again, someone would find a way through pinning the windows in and putting the ball in front of. So